The Chicago Cubs are locked in versus their division rivals, the musty Milwaukee Brewers, in a battle for first place. I'm your boy, Big Bro. We're going to get right into it right after the – hold on, let me get to the right page so I can get y'all with the intro real quick. Boom. Right after the intro.
To the number one place for all Chicago baseball. Let's start the show.
All right, welcome to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central. I'm your host here, Big Bro, waiting for Mike to join the fray. The Chicago Cubs jump to a 3-0 lead into the bottom of the sixth after having a pretty solid bottom of the fifth inning. It's a pitcher's duel up until then. Javier Assad with 6 shutout innings, and it is an exciting day to be a Cubs fan because they are fighting for first place in the NL Central with Dansby Swanson up to bat. Y'all make sure y'all keep me company in the comment section. Appreciate you guys. Dansby Swanson, 0-2 is the count. Let me see. Cubs have been drawing walks all day long. As we got a ball low and away on Swanson. 3-2 is the count. What's the word, Brody?
What's up? Cubs looking pretty good here.
Oh, yeah. 3-0 lead, bottom of the sixth. Swanson with a deep right to left center. Swanson, and it's
get out. Let's go. Gone.
Swanson with the lead off home run to start the bottom of the sixth inning to put the Cubs up 4-0. His fourth home run of the season. Shout out to the Cubs for busting this game open after it being 0-0, Big Mike, for much of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Both starting pitchers had relatively solid starts here. Both of them now through 5-6 innings. How about Assad too, keeping the Cubs in this game by holding the Brewers to 6 scoreless innings now. Absolutely phenomenal performance. The defense has stepped up, and now the offense is coming along nicely.
Yeah, Dansby Swanson doing it on both sides of the plate or the field or whatever. The home run, he also has some good defense so far this game. Listen, the Cubs are showing that, hey, it doesn't matter who's on the roster, who's pitching, who's hurt, who's not. They're going to come to play every single game.
Absolutely, yeah. The MLB executives just took a poll for May to see kind of who they thought the best team in each division was, and the Cubs got the vast majority of those votes for the NL Central, even currently being very slightly behind the Brewers in second place. It seems like the whole of Major League Baseball is seeing what the Cubs are doing, and this game is a really good indication that that they're correct in calling the Cubs the best team in the NL Central right now.
Oh, yeah. As we got Patrick Wilson popping up out to right field. That's out number 1, 4-0, bottom of the sixth, Chicago Cubs with the lead. It's just been a good week for the Cubs. Even though they struggled a little bit on that East Coast trip, they still came away with a few wins in situations where they could have actually had more wins. The bullpen has been struggling a little bit lately, Mike.
Yes, they have been. And I think that once we get some of our starting pitchers who are currently on injured reserve back out playing with the Cubs, they're talking about Justin Steele possibly starting tomorrow evening at Wrigley Field. I think that that's going to really help the Cubs when it comes to their bullpen depth. We're going to be able to take some of those
Driving to right center. Easily caught by the center fielder, but go ahead.
And I think that we're going to be able to shift some of these back end rotation guys, move them back into a long reliever role, and that's really going to help free up some arms for the bullpen.
Oh, yeah. And we're looking at Cody B coming back and Suzuki coming back soon. Both of those guys should be back sometime next week. So the Chicago Cubs are looking to get even better.
Miguel Amaya at the plate now. He's been struggling of late.
Appreciate you, Jacob Hahn. White Sox fan in the building.
Hey, we love all Chicago sports here.
You know it. Fastball low, barely off the plate from Vieira to Amaya. Just thinking about Miguel Amaya.
Yeah, defensively, he's outstanding. His frame numbers are significantly higher than league average. He tends to get a lot more strike calls than other catchers do. And we've seen flashes where he can really swing the bat. He's been struggling the last month or so. Only played 20. This is his 24th game of the season. But hopefully we'll be able to see him start to hit a little bit more consistently.
As
Not
he
a great
grounds
start
out
here.
to third base. Cubs did get a run to get basically an insurance run to take a 4-0 lead going into the 7th inning. And this is for first place. So the Chicago Cubs are looking to take first place into the month. I mean, into May. Like it's the first week of May. They've had as many injuries as a team could suffer to start the season, but they've weathered the storm and they find themselves in a position that, frankly, not no shade, but frankly, David Ross wouldn't have them in this position right now.
I fully agree. I don't believe that Ross was able to effectively utilize the bench the same way that Council has whenever we ran into injuries in 2023. And big shout out to the Cubs front office for just the number of depth pieces that they brought in and for our development, just having so many guys ready to perform at the big league level. It's really helping us through this tough stretch of injuries.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially just a player that everybody was clamoring for was Cody Bellinger, a player that Major League Baseball had pegged as one of the favorites to win the MVP in the National League. In Seiya Suzuki. It's good to see other players that have been stepping up, especially on the pitching front. Like you lose your star pitcher in Game 1 of the season, and here you have and Managa stepping up and basically being Rookie of the Year / Cy Young winner. You have PCA stepping up, even though he has had a few fielding issues. He's finally getting hits. You've had Christopher Morel, even with issues at third base, perhaps maybe with the glove. That man is on a tear in terms of hitting the ball out the park right now, and he's drawn 3 walks today. Big Mike.
Absolutely. I love the difference in his plate discipline from last season going into this season. And let's not ignore the fact that his defense has been significantly better the last month or so. He's been making some pretty flashy plays over there at third.
Oh yeah, like there are some people who are still saying, "Hey, he should be DH," which wouldn't be a problem because
Right.
his bat is his most important asset.
hmm
But there's nothing wrong with allowing him the opportunity to learn how to field third base, especially when the team is showing fight pretty much every single night in and night out.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it really comes down to the bullpen right now. Obviously, Adbert Alzolay has been struggling quite a bit as Yency Almonte is now on the mound for the Cubs. Huge props to Javier Assad for a fantastic quality start today.
Oh yeah, Almonte in. He's gonna have to hold these guys down in the top of the 7th. This is Almonte just throws a ball. So here we are at 1-1 is the count. Top of the 7th, Chicago Cubs lead the Milwaukee Brewers 4-0 in a first place battle for first place in the NL Central.
Yeah, and as you're looking up and down this Brewers lineup, pay attention to the batting averages down towards the bottom. They're Blake Perkins here, their first baseman, batting in the 8 hole, hitting 279, I think that said it was. This Brewers team has been surprisingly consistent at the plate. They haven't just been pulled along by pitching like they have the past few years.
Oh yeah, this is fun, man. We'll get to scores around the league momentarily as the Chicago Cubs look to hold on for first place. But Mike, man, my Chicago White Sox have been playing much better.
They have, yeah, huge props on a win over the Cardinals yesterday. You know, I love to see that. Had to, give Wyatt a little bit of crap for that. He's a White Sox, or excuse me, more of a Cardinals fan, historically speaking. So that was great to see.
Almonte gets the leadoff strikeout to start the 7th inning. Good on him, man, especially with the bullpen struggling. Only 4 pitches to get that strikeout.
I've been liking Almonte a lot. He has some issues. He'll give up the occasional walk, the occasional hard hit. But he's been relatively consistent for the Cubs outside of 1 or 2 appearances when a lot of our bullpen has been getting blown up regularly.
Yeah, Almonte with another strike as the batter did not check properly. Bowers. did not check his swing properly. 0-1 is the count. Fastball high and a
That's a
little
good
bit out.
pitch.
Yes, right outside the zone. But the umpire has been giving pitchers those calls today, so I'm not sure what he's doing with the box right now.
If you watch the marquee broadcast, they kind of have this umpire scouting report they've been doing this season, which I really like. And swinging bunt foul, it's going to be strike number 2. And this umpire was rated as extremely pitcher friendly, so he's a very, very wide strike zone.
Except for on that pitch.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's interesting to me. A lot of times the ones at the top of the zone are the ones you can get away with, especially Brewers have the Cubs where they need.
Music Man Harp says the Brewers have the Cubs where they need them 4-0. And brewer is one of those words that I struggle with. It's just the brewer part.
The Brewer. Oh,
And
great pitch from Almonte.
yes, backdoored him with another strikeout. 2 strikeouts so far to start the inning for Almonte. Strong outing. Ooh, got him.
Look at that, painting that corner. And yeah, Almonte's looking good. That was 4 pitches each. He's only 8 pitches into this inning, and he's got 2 strikeouts.
That's solid.
Now we're going to be cycling back around to the top of Milwaukee's order with Frelick. He's 1 for 3 on the day.
Music Man Harp wants to know if he's wrong. We hope you're wrong. We hope that the Cubs can close this out and walk away from this series with a series win and a first place in the standing circumstance for them.
Yeah, if we can see Almonte give us a good couple innings here, and then
ooh, another strike.
Nice pitch.
0-2 to count, 2 out, top of the 7th. Milwaukee down 4-0. You got Big Mike and Kev in the building holding it down for the Chicago Cubs, portion of Chicago White House and Cubs Central. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Check swing, strike 3, tagged him out as well.
Let's go.
Strikes out the side. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3 inning. He is dealing. BLJ in the building. He is the general. When you see him, you salute. He says Almonte is dealing out there. Absolutely. I see Caleb is a Cubs ambassador now. Hey, listen, the last two quarterbacks to come through Chicago both went and pitched for the White Sox. And while Mitch Trubisky did see the playoffs 2 times, we all know what happened with Justin Fields. It's nothing wrong with switching it up a little bit. Shout out to Caleb Williams for going out and supporting the Cubs.
Absolutely. It's great to see. Love to see Chicago athletes supporting other Chicago athletes.
He says, where were you last year on Alzolay? I thought Adbert Alzolay was solid last year. He was actually the bullpen for the Cubs.
Absolutely. It was him and Keegan Thompson had a few good appearances as well. But I was all about Almonte, thinking that he was going to be the next big closer for the Cubs. And I still think that he's got it in him. He's had a tough start to the beginning stretch of the season.
Oh, yeah. Caleb was there with Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and DJ Moore. And it's good to see Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears fans, already ingratiating himself to his receivers. Solid for him to get out there. He's already doing work. Jay Grizz says, let's go, Cubs. Let's go. For real. Cubs with the lead. We really ready to take care of business today, man. First place is on the line, Big Mike. How important is it to have a first place position so early in the season?
I actually don't think it's that important. I think what's much more important is that you're playing solid baseball and that you're looking good. But with the Cubs situation, that's exactly the way it's working. And I think that having a first place position when all of our injured starters come back, that's going to set us up for a ton of momentum and really take us into the heat of the summer in stride with a lot of momentum on our side.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's important. I think specifically for this team, not necessarily for baseball in general because it's super early, but for this team who's faced basically severe adversity to start the year, to be in position to be in first place this early in the season, even with all the injuries, is important for the psyche, at least for me, because we already know what's happening on the South side, and these guys are 5-27 or something like that.
Yeah.
So you at least want to be in contention. We're 7-26. You want to at least be in a position to win, and the Cubs are doing that regardless.
Horner takes ball 2. Junk on the mound now for the Brewers. Great name.
Yee. Ooh. Fly ball to right center and right in front of the running track. It is 1 out for the Chicago Cubs. Jay Capone says 2024 has been an exciting year for a show, with the exception of Jerry Reinsdorf-owned teams. Jerry, Mr. Burns Reinsdorf, he need to get in tune. Jay Greer said he sees us on Chi-Town Sports Center doing big things in every Chi-Town Sports. We appreciate you, sir. Yes, keep on tuning in. And then
Check out the rest of our channels too. We got the Bears, the Bulls, we got the Chicago Sky. They had a really good draft. It's going to be an exciting year for them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is where y'all hide. Nobody likes Chicago Cubs and White Sox Central. I got it posted on all channels, BOJ, all of the channels that we have. It's baseball. White Sox have been sucking it up so bad that maybe their stench is causing people to stray away from all Chicago baseball.
Yeah, I think that might be a little part of it. And but hey, I mean, it's looking really exciting here for the Cubs. It's been a really good start to the year, and there's no reason to believe they're going to slow down. As
base hit to
Talkman,
left field.
very nice shot.
But I am going to separate the channels. I'm working on that right now to have it where it's just going to be Chicago Cubs Central and just Chicago White Sox Central. But in the meantime, we'll be doing it like this until we can get the channels separated. We got Jay Greer saying Steele is about to be back on track tomorrow. Yes. And Cody Bellinger and Suzuki are not too far behind. Now, I'm reluctant to read this because ATF be trolling. He's funny as hell, though. I heard Ernie Begg say his biggest career regret was playing in Chicago instead of Detroit.
Yeah, you'll have to send me a link to that quote from Mr. Cub. I'd be interested to see that.
ATW is a big Detroit fan, but hey, we'll be seeing him throughout the year. Appreciate the support. BOJ, yes, I'm not thinking about it. I'm already on track to do it. I might take my old Chicago, chopping it up Chicago page and convert that to just the White Sox and leave the Cubs over here. Again, the White Sox have been losing so badly that I think it's dragging the channel down a little bit. We got love seeing Morrell get them walks. Yes, sir, Jay Grizz. That plate discipline is important. It's Ian Happ is on up with a 1-1 count right now. 1 for 2 today as they check to first base. And as you just joining us, Chicago Cubs took a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning with just a wild inning for the Milwaukee Brewers. Just walks and wild pitches and all types of things that the Cubs took advantage of. And then Nancy Swanson with a big homer in the bottom of the 6th as Ian Happ runs outside the baseline and he's out. But he does move the runner to second, so the Cubs have a runner in scoring position with 2 out in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, and something I wanted to point out, just looking at how Mike Talkman was able to line that over the shortstop into left field. I really like to see, especially when he's behind in the count. Talk is fantastic at choking up on the bat and just putting something in play to the opposite field where he can leg it out in the infield. It's been really helping him this year.
With a base hit to left field to score. Mike Talkman, the Chicago White Sox, go up 5-0. 3 walks and an RBI. What a weekend for Christopher Morel.
Kev, I have to admit something. Morel has been having a rough stretch the past month leading up until this past week. And this is the first week this season I did not start him on my fantasy team. And he's hit friggin' 3 home runs. He's got 3 walks and an RBI today. I'm regretting it. I started PCA in front of him, and PCA hasn't been doing quite as much.
Yeah, buddy. Christopher Morel is on fire. FGB in the chat from Jay Grizz. There's always time for some FGB over here with Chi-Town Sports. You feel me? We have no love for Milwaukee in general. I don't even like cheddar cheese.
Nah, that stuff's weak. Michael Busch at the plate now. He's been struggling a little bit as of late, but still getting some really quality swings in. I can't talk today. I was out late at a show last night.
Well, I was out late. Me and wifey didn't get home till like maybe 2 or 3 this morning. We had game night with our other couples friends.
Nice.
We played this game that's kind of similar to Cards Against Humanity, as Bush takes another ball. It's called That's What She Said. So it's very innuendous, and it had us in stitches last night. Of course, the tequila played a role in the laughter, but it was a good time, man. But we are back in business today, regardless of how little sleep we got, as Michael Busch takes a strike up and outside on the zone.
Good pitch.
But we can use another run here. 5-0.
Yeah, we could. How about another 2 runs? Haven't seen a Busch home run in a quick second.
Ooh, swings and misses, strikes out 4 times, 4 strikeouts today from Michael Busch. Leads Jesus.
That's not what you want to see. You don't want to see the hat trick plus from a guy that you were that excited about his plate discipline. But bad games happen, and hopefully he's able to just kind of swallow that and move right on along, keep playing hard.
So real quick around the league, we got Detroit down 5-2. The dusty Detroit Tigers down 5-2 on the Yankees in the bottom of the 8th. In New York, you got Washington down 2-5 in the top of the 4th in Washington against Toronto. Tampa Bay and the Mets going at it. The Mets lead 5-4 in Tampa Bay in the bottom of the 8th. And then you have Boston leading Minnesota in the top of the 8th, 3-1 in Minnesota, with 2 runners on. Boston looking to score some more runs. Seattle down 3-4 in Houston versus Houston in the bottom of the 7th. Texas down 0-2 against Kansas City in the bottom of the 3rd. And the Chicago White Sox lead the stinking St. Louis Cardinals 5-1 in the top of the 8th inning. The Chicago with a runner in scoring position trying to add more. Miami up 4-0 on Oakland, top of the 1st inning. Atlanta and Dodgers could be an NL championship preview, 0-0 in the bottom of the 1st. Baltimore leads the Cincinnati Reds 3-0. I got to come up with a nickname for them. And then we got the Arizona Cardinals and San Diego going at it 0-0 in the bottom of the 1st. Earlier today, we had Colorado lose to Pittsburgh. And Mike, I got to talk to you about this one. The Pittsburgh Pirates are playing way better than you said they would, bro.
Hey, I know they're a division rival.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we're competing with them for playoff spots, but I'm happy to see it. Like, Pittsburgh fans have had it rough for way too long.
Ever since Hutchinson.
Absolutely. And, that fan base is so passionate. They have a beautiful ballpark. I'm really happy to see it for Pittsburgh. Actually, Wyatt and I are going to be taking a road trip out there later this summer to see a game at PNC Park. So
let's go. 1 pitch, 1 out. Almonte is dealing as Nico Horner just gobbles up a would-be base hit and gets it to first base for the out. Real quick to finish around the league, the Cleveland Guardians, they ain't guarding nothing, but they did win 4-1 over the Angels. And that's it. Later tonight, you got San Francisco and Philly on Sunday Night Baseball for ESPN. Later tonight.
That should be a good game. That's a good pitch at the bottom of the zone, called ball 1.
Listen, Almonte, let's go. Nick Madrigal in the game. He's moving over to third base for, I think Patrick Wisdom was at third today, was he?
Yes, and I've noticed that a little bit lately. Is that
another one? Hey, that's another strike that he just caught a ball.
Yeah, that one was more borderline, but it did catch the zone.
Tyler Black.
This is a young guy that Milwaukee's really excited about. He's one of their top prospects, and recently has been called up to the show as he takes a strike on the outside third.
2-1's the count. Top of the 8th. Almonte dealing right now.
Absolutely love to see this. We got Almonte from the Dodgers, one of a couple of good players we got from the Dodgers this past season. And
that was a nasty pitch.
A lot of movement on that, I think, 2-seamer that looks like to me.
It started here and then went that way, just like that,
yeah.
like a cursive letter.
You see that kind of movement on 2-seamers and change-ups. That one was moving a little hot for a change-up. Brings the count to full with the pitch low and out of the zone. Black's 1 for 3 on the day, and Almonte is going to try to keep that one exactly where it is. Payoff pitch on its way.
Full count. Popped him up to left field. Ian Happ right under it. Second out of the inning. Almonte with only 18 pitches and 2 2/3 innings of work so far. Struck out the side in the first inning, and here he is now taking care of business again. It's the
Yeah, how
Cubs
about the
lead 5-0.
performance from Cubs pitchers today? I mean,
solid.
Assad got us off to a fantastic start. He's really had a good start to the year, hasn't he?
Yes, he has 6 innings of shutout, and to think that he started the season in the bullpen, and we got a deep drive to the end. Oh, Ian Happ with the catch right at the warning
All
zone.
right. Give me a little nervous there for a quick second.
Oh,
But
Lord. Swanson, Wisdom, and Pete Crow Armstrong up on deck. Chicago Cubs lead the Milwaukee Brewers in the battle for first place. And he really it's 5-0. We're going into the bottom of the eighth. Hey, I'm not mad at the Cubs today for today's effort. Hit a few comments real quick. ATF is just still trolling his Detroit fandom. The scoreboard is rigged. The Tigers are up 24-0. That's not true. The dusty Detroit Tigers.
ATF, I'm with you, man. Even though he sucks, I still love Javier Baez, so I like the Tigers.
I don't like the Tigers. They dusty. I think Michael Bush just needs a couple days off. Once Bellinger comes back, let him play first and keep PCA at center field.
That's
a good thought.
interesting. Yeah, PCA's been swinging the bat a little bit lately. Had a nice sack bunt earlier today too. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of him.
And he's 1 for 2. I think that home run really hyped him up. BLJ with another comment. Arizona Diamondbacks, not the Cardinals.
Oh, the Sox playing the Diamondbacks today?
No, they playing the Cardinals, I thought.
They played the Cardinals yesterday, I know.
I'm pretty sure they're playing the Cardinals right now, too. Yeah, they're up still 5-1 on the Cardinals in the bottom of the eighth.
Yep.
So
that might have been about another comment. I'm not sure. That might be about Cubs rivalries with after how last season went with the Diamondbacks.
True. The ATF again has Sammy Sosa's skin whitening progress to the point he's invisible yet. He did look like Blueberry though, like old school cereal. Oh, my bad. Did I say Arizona Cardinals? Lord have mercy. Lordy.
Well, okay, they were the Arizona Cardinals were the St. Louis Cardinals after they were the Chicago Cardinals, but then it got too confusing, so they moved to Arizona.
And then I probably was just thinking football.
Yeah, that's fair. How'd you feel about the draft? We haven't even talked much about the draft on here. I mean, I was super happy with that.
I'm excited about it. I kind of wanted the Bears to go defense at number 9.
Me too.
Just considering that you could have had two top 10 picks, one offense, one defense, and we got Dansby Swanson popping out to left to start the bottom of the 8th inning. But I'm not mad at them going to get Rome Odunze because as much as defense matters in the NFL, this is an offensive league right now.
It is.
Historically, the Chicago Bears have been defensive teams, and they still have a solid defense, whether they drafted a top 10 defender or not. Mm-hmm. So I'm not mad at them deciding to shore up their future because we don't know what's going to happen with Keenan Allen after this season. He only has 1 year left on his contract. We don't know what's going to happen with the rest of these guys, but we do know that bringing in a rookie quarterback and a rookie receiver, they can develop a rapport together that could lead to years of dominance for the Chicago Bears in the NFC North. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what the Bears are going to do this season.
I'm right there with you. Just their offensive weapons, with Swift at running back, Kmet at tight end, and then our 3 receivers that we have. I'm super excited to watch Caleb Williams work this year.
Oh yeah, easily. I don't care how he paints his nails or anything that these people are talking about. How many times he lost to the Wisdom to left field, and it's a base hit. Nice hit.
Leaks through there. Yeah, I got a lot of power behind that swing. Managed to get
velo at 103 miles per hour. Solid. But yeah, we also got Everett for backup tight end as well. So the Bears are in a situation where they can definitely perform. And this is the first time that I feel like the ownership, the general managers, so on and so forth, have put pressure on themselves of high expectations, and I just want to see them live up to it.
Yeah, I agree. They did give Wisdom a single for that hit. I think mostly just because it was over 100 miles an hour off the bat. It was hit right at the third baseman, though.
Oh yeah, that's a hit. And then Pete Armstrong with a sack bunt, a single, a run, and a stolen base today. Batting average at 242. That's 242, bro. That's not too bad.
Not too bad from where he was last season. That's a lot of progress, and he's still heating up right now. And I'm really excited to see it. And how about that home run to give the Cubs the lead for his first MLB hit? That's just so cool.
Incredible.
Really like the way this guy plays baseball.
Swing and a miss from Armstrong.
I think you're a couple seconds ahead of me, Kev. I'm not sure if you can control that.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good.
I also got it in my ear, too.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
1-2 pitch coming. Armstrong fouls it back. 1-2 is the count. 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Chicago Cubs looking to snatch first place from the Milwaukee Brewers against Craig Counsell's former team. I wanted to go to the game yesterday, but instead took my 6-year-old to this 25,000 square foot bounce house. We had a blast.
That sounds like fun.
Pitch in the dirt. Runner does not advance.
Good job by the catcher keeping that in front. And, Wisdom's not exactly the quickest guy, but that evens the count.
Yeah, we had a blast. It was hot. I was sweating. My knees don't really work properly in bounce houses, but I still did my thing.
Yeah, Wyatt and I played a show in out in Lockport, Illinois last night at the Studio in Lockport. If you guys are in the area, highly recommend that music venue. Very nice bar. A lot of good music comes through there. Nice little town too, Lockport.
Let me know when the next show is, too. I was busy yesterday, but I'll try to make at least one of them.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll let you know. We're taking a brief hiatus to start recording our album over the summer, but we'll be hitting it hard this fall.
Ooh, that's a nice pitch to take. It's 3-2 full count. 1 on, 1 out.
I'd kind of like to see PCA foul that off with an umpire that's this generous, but hey, props to him for having that eagle eye.
Mm-hmm.
Payoff pitch coming.
Fouls off another full count pitch. Wisdom was running on that one. Let me know if y'all need a rapper to jump on y'all album. I got some bars.
I mean, when people ask me what genre we play, I just kind of laugh. We do a little bit of everything. So no doubt we can definitely work on some collaboration. That'd be pretty fun.
We can come up with a modern Go Cubs Go theme.
Wyatt would not be into that.
Strike him out, throw him out.
Did they call strike 3 at the plate? It looked like he might have called that a ball.
They called that a ball? Oh, my God.
All right, Cubs getting one back there. So thank you to the home plate umpire for getting us out of the double play.
I cannot wait till they can challenge strikes and pitches, bro. That's upcoming schedule for the Cubs. 3 games set for San Diego, and then a surprise in Pittsburgh, 3 games to there, and then a big series versus Atlanta, and then they got Pittsburgh for 4 games. Atlanta again and St. Louis to close out the month.
May is tough. May is going to be really tough. We can get some wins against Pittsburgh. We can get some wins against San Diego. But if we can steal a couple against the Braves, that would do a lot for the Cubs.
So Miguel Amaya so far is hit by a pitch and a run scored, but he's still 0 for 2. A hit right now would basically end the game. Let's see if he can go ahead and get one as he fights off a fastball in the middle of the plate down the right field line. 0-2 is the count.
See a shot there of William Contreras, younger brother of Wilson Contreras. He's currently catching for the Brewers and has had a heck of a start to his season.
And Wilson Contreras with a home run today versus the White Sox. I think that's the only score that St. Louis had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, St. Louis is an interesting case. With their lineup, you'd really expect them to be up here with the Cubs and the Brewers competing, but
Is F them too?
Oh, no, I can't stand them. I'm really happy to see it, but it's interesting. You wonder what the issue is.
Runners were going on that swing from Amaya. 1-2 is the count. 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Cubs trying to put themselves in position to not get caught up on a double play. I'd like to see Amaya take that pitch with the runners going.
That would be nice to see. I get it with 2 strikes, trying to takes one low and away, evens the count, trying to just stay alive, make sure that you're being a good defensive hitter. But getting a couple runners in scoring position right now for Nico Horner would be nice.
Steps off the bag to look at second base, doesn't throw. 2-2's the count, 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 8, 5-0 Chicago Cubs lead. Go ahead.
I want to see a replay of that step off. That looks a little bit like a balk to me.
I was kind of thinking that too, bro, but it is what it is. Baseball rules are changing every day. I don't know how they do this stuff anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, what even is a balk?
Fights off another fastball inside, keeps the count at 2-2, 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 8, Chicago Cubs with the lead, 5-0 on the musty Milwaukee Brewers.
And how about the Cubs working really hard right now at the plate, putting up some good at-bats, running up that pitch count for Junk?
As he fights off another pitch outside.
Really like to see this, especially late in the game. It's hurting Milwaukee's arms. And, as we know, this season is predicted to come down between these 2 teams atop the NL Central for that first place spot. So even if we're not, it's the last game of the series against the Brewers today, but hurting their bullpen helps us no matter who they're playing against.
Yes, sir. As Amaya fights off another pitch, 94-mile-per-hour fastball. So far, we're seeing curveball, fastball, slider, fastball, curveball, fastball, slider, fastball. So we're about to see another off-speed pitch right here based on the pattern. We'll see.
The Brewers do have a little bit of an easier May than we do, so we'll see how things shake out.
Ooh. Strikes him out with a high fastball that would have got it to count to 3-2.
It's a good pitch. Hard to lay off of that on 2 strikes, but a good at bat, ran up the pitch count. Let's see if Horner can take advantage. How about Nico Horner, man? I mean, he had such a rough start, hit almost 0 for April, and then he has just absolutely been tearing it up at the plate lately.
Yeah, he has. Fouls off the first pitch. Nico's solid this season.
Yeah, he had a couple RBIs earlier today with a nice double into right center, legged it out, and really helped the Cubs' momentum keep up in this game.
Ooh, fights off. Out. 3rd out. Now we have the Chicago Cubs going into the top of the 9th with the opportunity to close this game out, shut the door on the series with the 2-1 series win, as well as first place in the NL Central. They can move a half a game, I believe, in front of Milwaukee to take first place, because right now Milwaukee is 20-12. The Chicago Cubs are 20-14. But being 21-14 versus 20-13, the Cubs should have a half a game lead, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not good at math.
They I believe will even their record with the Brewers. Technically, they should be tied. However, the Cubs would have the head-to-head in this case if they win today, taking 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee.
They wouldn't even it because Milwaukee's 20-12.
I've just been seeing that the Cubs are, by MLB math, 1 game behind. And if you are 1 game behind and you win that game against that team, then you tie up. Because each game is a half game per team.
So they'll have the same percentage points then.
Yes. Yeah. So they'll be technically tied. The Cubs will hold the head-to-head. Not that matters in early May. But still a nice bit of momentum heading into a very tough stretch here against the Padres, the Braves. Surprising Pirates team, as you said.
Would you say it matters more now that you play your division opponents less?
I think it absolutely does. Yeah, because I mean, head-to-head matters at the end of the year, and you need to make sure that you get those wins when they're available. I'm not a huge fan of the balanced schedule. I do like getting to see all the American League teams come and play at Wrigley and get to see guys like Aaron Judge and Mike Trout play in Chicago, but it's interesting for sure.
Man, the Dodgers are plus 59 on the season. That's crazy.
They're ridiculous. That's where the Cubs were in like
Last year.
September. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Cubs are moving up though. They're plus 13 now, so they're not too bad. And after this game, with Milwaukee having not scored yet, as Palencia comes in to close out the game, the Cubs will move up to plus 17. So, and Milwaukee will move down to plus 22 if the score holds. So they're on their ass. Top of the ninth, and the Cubs lead 5-0. Palencia with the first pitch, 99-mile-per-hour fastball, high and outside the zone.
Yeah, Palenci's had a little bit of a tough start to the season. He's only 5 games in. He's pitched 9 innings and given up 5 runs in that time for, of course, a 5.0 ERA. But he's got this stuff. If he can start to work on that control a little bit and not hang things over the middle of the plate after walking guys, then he's going to be really good for the Cubs.
I guess you're talking about my voice, ATF, talking about shouldn't the guy on the left have the bass guitar instead of the guy on the right? Look, I'm at my job. I work with, travelers, and I promise you, if I had $1 for everybody that's like, do you sing? You have a great baritone voice. Yada, yada, yada. I'm like, look, I do podcasting a little bit. I sing in the shower, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, I don't play the bass much, actually. That's why it's not in its case with the rest of them that were within a good thing.
Ooh! What a pitch.
101 backdoor fastball that really had a lot of movement. You don't see that kind of movement on pitches over 100. Ooh. That was dirty.
My God.
Look at the look on Terang's face. He knew he was had.
Oh Lord. And ATF, what are you saying? It's because I'm black. Is it the South Park? Another 100-mile-per-hour fastball that's just whipping right
He's
in.
cooking.
Like, what do you do with that, bro? Lordy. Hoskins, do you have a chance? This Reese Hoskins?
Yes, it is.
Another 100-miler fouled off. Palencia is in control right now. Wesneski been doing his thing. Tyone, I'm so proud of Tyone, for real. Cubs pitching in the last 3 games. 6 in the third from Wesneski, 6 innings from Tyone, 6 innings from Assad. All 3, all scoreless. Shout out to them. And Reese Hoskins out to right center field. Easy catch for PCA. 2 outs. As Palencia is probably going to get another strikeout coming up, big dog. He doing his thing.
Yeah, seriously. He's throwing so hard, and the Brewers just look like they're at a loss right now. They're throwing in the towel, it seems like. I'm really, really excited to see him hitting the strike zone at over 100 miles an hour. That's impressive no matter what.
For real, for real. 21 in the chat. Go ahead and follow if you haven't. Another 100-mile-per-hour, and what a catch.
Oh, knocks it down. Come on, Dansby. Oh, no, that would have been such a nice play to end it on.
Great job, though. Great job
defense,
from the Cubs.
Yeah.
Way to run it out. Exit velo 108 miles per hour, and the Cubs still had an opportunity to get the out. However, they didn't, so the inning is extended. But
Wow.
Swanson with a great play to keep it in the infield.
That was close, too. Swanson's throw almost had him. Nico Horn did a good job knocking it down. How about Swanson's defense today? He made that really nice play to close out the top of the first inning. That was really impressive. Sliding to his right.
Another strike, 99 miles per hour in the bottom of the zone. Palencia is still dealing.
Yep, fans at Wrigley are on their feet. They're cheering. They want to see the Cubs take this one home and move up into first place in the standings. They want to see those flags move.
Wilson Contreras just struck out for the Cardinals, as my boy with BLJ is mentioning, for the White Sox game.
Very nice.
I'll record a video for the White Sox right after this.
Brewers down to their last strike after a 100-mile-an-hour pitch straight down the middle.
Fouls off the 0-2.
And the base runner did take second. Of course, that run just does not matter to the Cubs at this point. They're focusing on the batter. Come on, Palencia, let's finish it.
Swing and a miss.
Got him.
Strike
Let's
3.
go.
Let's
We're
go.
flying the W.
Go, Cubs, go. Go, Cubs, go. Let's go. Hey, Chicago. What do you say? Cubs gonna win today.
Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna have to collab on something. That's perfect. We can we just get that recording and put that on the album?
You funny as hell. Why not? I used to do it back in the day when I was your age, but I'm a little bit older now, man. And music is a love of mine, but I definitely love seeing people still do it as the Cubs take care of business with a shutout victory, 5-0 to take out the musty Milwaukee Brewers. FGB, all things Milwaukee sucks. Struck him out. Cubs with the win. Strong outing from your starter, Javier Assad, as well as your bullpens to come in and lock things down for the Chicago Cubs. 5-0, fly to W. It's rocking in Wrigley right now. Great Sunday afternoon baseball. Good thing that I got the day off from work today so we can kick it. Big Mike, what's your thoughts on the game real quick before we get into the highlights?
Yeah, this was an all-around fantastic performance from the Cubs. How about the defense and the hitting from Dansby Swanson being able to keep the Cubs in the game early, saving a run with a huge play in the first inning, and then coming back later to give the Cubs an insurance run with that solo shot to left center. And Javier Assad with another quality start for the Cubs. Things are looking up. Really happy to see it.
All right, so the Chicago Cubs are still in second place because of the percentage points. Milwaukee at 6.606, Cubs at .600. 20-13 are the Milwaukee Brewers. 21-14 are the Chicago Cubs. So they're basically virtually tied
Yep.
for first place. However, the percentage points keeps Milwaukee in first place, but the Cubs are not any games behind. They take 2 out of 3 versus these guys. And the loss that they had in game one was 3-1, but the Cubs had that too. It was just a bullpen situation that got them it took that loss. Let's just go through the lineup real quick. Javier Assad, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks with the win. Peralta with the loss with 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and 6 walks for him. And those walks really hurt Milwaukee today. Nico Horner, 1 for 5 today with a run scored, 2 RBIs. Mike Tauchman, 1 for 3 today with a run scored. And then you
And a
had
walk.
Ian and a walk. Ian Happ, 1 for 3 today. Christopher Morel, 3 walks drawn, 1 for 1 with an RBI. Nick Madrigal, 0 for 0 today. Got in late in the game.
Yep.
Michael Busch, though, after having a torrid situation where he hit home run after home run after home run, he was 0 for 4 today with 4 strikeouts. We'll talk about that more later. What can we do to get Michael Busch back on track? BOJ mentioned something that could work. Dansby Swanson, 1 for 4, 1 home run and an RBI. His average increases to 220. Patrick Wisdom has been solid today. He was the DH. 1 for 3 today, and solid all season, 261 on the season. Pete Crow Armstrong,
Absolutely.
though, give him credit. 1 for 2, 1 earned run, a sacrifice, 1 run scored, a sacrifice bunt, and Miguel Amaya also struggling, just like Michael Busch, 0 for 3 today, but he did have a run scored. Almonte and Palencia, kudos to those guys. Hats off to those guys for coming in. 2 innings pitched, no runs for Almonte, 1 inning pitch, 1 hit for Palencia. You got 4, 7, 9 strikeouts combined for your pitchers. Great game for the Chicago Cubs.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Make sure you hit us up 773-389-6954 or email us at chicagobaseballcentral@gmail.com. We want to hear from you, do a little bit of a mailbag episode. I think that'd be really fun. But thank you guys so much. Make sure you tune in. We're going to be doing more live streams all season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So for the post game, we'll just jump right into post game. Cubs did get the win today, 5-0. Solid pitching, great timely hitting from the 5th inning forward for the Chicago Cubs. However, Michael Busch, what can we say? 4 strikeouts today from Michael Busch. We don't want to rain on the parade of Chicago Cubs victory, but what can we do to get Michael Busch out of this kind of funk that he's been in for the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's been tough, honestly. I'm not sure exactly what there is to do except let him keep hitting. Um, I think that taking him out right now for a young player in his rookie season like this, one of his rookie seasons still has rookie status, I don't love to see uh, managers getting nervous, pulling him out, sitting him on the bench, sending him down to AAA. I'd really like to see him continue to just get these at bats. And pitchers have figured out where to throw it to him. That's part of it. You know, he was a young player. They hadn't had a scouting report on him, so he was just hitting home run after home run. Now that they have that scouting report, it's going to be tougher on him, but we just need to wait and see. And I guarantee you, he's going to start heating back up as he starts to learn how to hit those high fastballs.
Yeah, I mean, like the Cubs don't want to see another David Bodie situation, right? Where
Right.
you just come in super hot, you're hitting game-winning grand slams, and
Mm-hmm.
you're the talk of the town, and you just fade into the background. Michael Busch has an opportunity to become a mainstay here in Chicago. It's just right now, it's just a rough stretch for a rookie pitcher who has to adjust to the adjustments. Now, how do
Yeah,
you
I
think?
fully agree.
How do you think Craig Counsell feels getting this series win, first series versus his former team, taking the 21-14 record early in May, technically not in first place, but basically in first place for the Chicago Cubs. How do you think Craig Counsell feels?
Yeah. How Craig Counsell's going to say he feels is he's going to say, you know, it's just another game. We just needed to get the win. We're looking to make sure our guys are hitting, our guys are pitching well. But you know that there's a little bit going on inside, a little bit of pride there. And he deserves it because he won this series against his former team, who's having a great year, and kind of proved it for the Cubs that he's here for a reason and he's making a big difference.
Okay. We'll get a couple of comments real quick before we get up out of here because I got to do some White Sox conversation. And of course, Mike, you're welcome to join if you want to. So hey, we got BLJ saying that the Chicago White Sox just beat the Cardinals 5-1, and that's important for the Cubs because Cubs fans hate the Cardinals.
Yes, we do, with a burning passion.
It is
Not
what it is.
maybe not as much as we hate the Packers. Although I'm a more of a baseball guy, so it really is the Cardinals for me.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. And then we got Jay Grizz with the fly to W.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and
Hey.
hey, happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. Make sure you
Oh
party
yes.
responsibly. Get yourself some good tacos today. Absolutely. That looks very responsible.
Tequila! Da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's go. And we got the Crystal style. I think that's how you say it. This is a hot take, but if the Cubs get bullpen for the next year, they will win 100 plus games. They would definitely be World Series team. Probably 110 games next season. So not this season. This person is predicting that the Cubs in the offseason will shore up their bullpen, keep their offense intact, and win maybe 110 games and go to the World Series. From your mouth to God's ears, my guy.
If the development continues the way it has been for these younger guys, I could see 100. 110, I'd be thrilled.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Chicago Cubs with a strong victory over their division rivals, the musty Milwaukee Brewers. Can't say that we're any happier. It's always good to get wins against your rivals.
Mhm.
Big Mike and the Cubs put themselves into a virtual tie with the Milwaukee Brewers going into their next series. Now, it's understood that the month of May is going to be tough before we get up out of here. Let's just discuss a little bit what's coming up for the Cubs as they take the series win over the Milwaukee Brewers. The Chicago Cubs are going to they're going to stay home for the next 3 games, a couple of night games, 640, and 120. We should be back here Tuesday, so because God bless me and I got the day off on Tuesday, so we might be back Tuesday depending on what the score is for the Cubs versus San Diego Padres. 3 game set, and then they're going to roll for 6 games. Pittsburgh and Atlanta, and then they come back home for 7 games, Pittsburgh and Atlanta. So we're going to see a lot of Pittsburgh and Atlanta over the next week and a half, Big Mike. How you feeling about the Cubs going into this rough stretch in May as they finish with division rivals, bro? After Pittsburgh and Atlanta twice, you got St. Louis again, Milwaukee again, and then you have the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, it's a tough stretch coming up for the Cubs against just a national league that is across the board so talented in 2024. But I feel fantastic about it, and I'll tell you exactly why. There's two reasons. Number one, like you said, division wins over rivals, and we just took this 3-game series from the Brewers in pretty solid fashion with this last game, a 5-0 win. Now, that is one really nice thing that's going to give the Cubs a little bit of momentum, but I think it's secondary to the return of Justin Steele on the mound. I cannot wait to see it.
I'm looking forward to Justin Steele being back and seeing how the bullpen adjusts to their new roles, because somebody's going to have to lose a starting position.
Yep.
It's probably going to be Wes Nesky.
Although, man,
he's been solid.
He's been really good. And I went to a couple of his games last year at Wrigley, and it was always like, man, I can't wait for the bullpen to get in, which is not how you normally think at a Cubs game, or thought in 2023 at least. But he has really turned it around this season, and I've been very impressed.
And Tyone has turned it around too. Shout out to those guys. And aside, you're talking about 3 guys that could be in your bullpen that's giving you quality starts. So shout out to them. But once Steele gets back, you also have the same situation with Cody Bellinger and Seiya Suzuki also coming back. So shout out to Dansby Swanson for getting things going with his home run, or giving the Cubs insurance runs with his home run. Who was it that hit that? The was it PCA?
The double?
Yeah,
that was Horner.
Nico Horner.
Yep.
So shout out to him as well. Cubs and Brewers were locked into a 0-0 game in the bottom of the 5th when the Cubs broke it open with 3 runs, and then they scored 2 more runs after that late in the game to give themselves insurance runs. Pitching was lights out today. Craig Counsell made all the right moves. Chicago Cubs take care of business and put themselves in position to take first place from Milwaukee tomorrow. As the San Diego Padres, we owe them a little bit, right? Cubs owe them.
They got us off to a pretty rough start on our last West Coast road trip. We ended up doing just fine on that road trip, above 500. But yeah, we definitely we had our struggles with Slam Diego.
All right, and last comment before being Big Mike get up out of here, because I got to go talk about the White Sox. D. Cristo Style says, I think the Cubs take 1 from the Braves. I don't think they will win, though, and the Cubs should beat the Padres. So maybe the Cubs, he's saying that the Cubs will win 1 game versus the Braves and lose that series, but they will beat the Padres and take at least 2 out of 3. We will see, but we'll be back Tuesday for more live action. Of course, check us out for all daily content. If you're not following us across all of the Chi-Town Sports family, you got Chicago Bulls Central, Bears Central, Sky Central, Blackhawk Central, of course, Chicago Cubs Central, White Sox Central here, the Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys, and NBA Central, where me and the gang, Hayes, Bobby, C-Dub, and Steve-O Speaks are talking about the NBA playoffs. So follow us everywhere. Find us on different social media platforms, TikTok and all of that. And we're going to be getting up out of here. ATF Media, I see you, my guy. We're going to holler at y'all later next. Hey, keep rocking with us. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
To the number 1 place for all Chicago baseball. Let's start the show.
Fly the W. Talking about.